Okay, let's rise to the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So as we always do, there's some folks we need to remember. First, some local folks, Kathy Seamer and Ben Barillo, who passed away since our last meeting. Of course, our military men and women that are in the armed forces today. And then, of course, all those that are affected by the virus that's going around. If we could remember everyone. One big prayer. Thank you so much. We're 6 foot apart. We're on TV for our public meeting. I'm going to keep my mask off so I can speak. These are actually kind of warm. There's no air, there's no space between your face and the mask. There's no air there. So I guess I have to get a different mask. Okay. Village clerk is here, our technician, our TV technician is here. Appreciate that. Our village attorney is here to keep me on the straight and narrow. First on the agenda is to approve minutes. I've reviewed them. We had a regular meeting on the 20th of April 2020, and then we had a special meeting to do the budget on the 25th of April 2020. You have the minutes. I've reviewed them. It would be appropriate to approve.
So moved.
Motion by trustee DeSalvo. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have a resolution. Our final work to be done on the budget for 2020-2021. And I'll read it. It's short. Resolved that the annual budget for the Village of Highland Falls fiscal year 2020-2021 be adopted as follows. The general fund budget in the amount of $5,413,430. Water fund budget in the amount of $878,418. Sewer, I'm sorry?
$418.
800, excuse me, let me do it again. I didn't think I read that right. I'm sorry. The water fund budget, the amount is $878,418. The sewer fund budget is $1,099,981. Be it further resolved that water rates shall remain at $88.80 minimum for the first 5,000 gallons, and the current rate of $4.63 per 1,000 gallons thereafter. Be it further resolved that the sewer rate shall remain at 185% of the immediate previous water bill, and be it further resolved that the resolution shall take place immediately. And I don't, if it's okay, I just want to say that, and I said it in other words, but the sewer rate is not going up and the water rate is not going up. I will tell everyone that's not in this room, because everyone that's in this room was at the meetings, but we worked hard on this for obvious reasons. I think we work hard on every year's budget. But this one had a special, had some special notes, i.e. the coronavirus, and we know what that's going to mean in the near future to us, in particular sales tax. This is an 8-cent, it's under the 2%, it's not at the 2%, it's under 2%, which is important. That's how hard we work on this. It's hard to do this. when you have unions and you have things you have to buy and things you have no control over. It's hard to keep it at 2%, and we went below 2%, and it's an 8-cent increase, 8 cents per thousand increase on the general budget. Again, no change in the water, no change in the sewer. May I have a motion to adopt the budget?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Livesey, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Howard, may I have roll call?
Trustee Howard?
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay?
Aye.
Trustee DeSalvo?
Yes.
Trustee Ramus?
Aye.
Mayor DiNapoli?
Aye, motion carries, thank you so much. And thank you for all the work that everyone in this room, including the attorney, especially the village clerk, put into this budget. A couple things on money, and then later on I'll have some more things, but I have a freeze on this year's budget, 2019-2020. We have till May 31st when this budget runs out. Our new budget starts June 1. And several weeks ago I put a freeze on where not anything over $75, not anything over $100, but I put a real freeze on that nothing could be bought unless it came to my desk first. And that's what's been going on. What will that allow us? What was the purpose of that? The purpose of that is that we have a surplus in this year's budget left. Because there's a good chance, or at least a chance, that we're going to need it. Again, because of the virus, and because of sales tax, and because of this, and because of that. You know, we're the bottom government. Every government is above us. So the federal government's going to cut down to the state. The state's going to say to Orange County, you're not getting so much. Orange County's going to say to the municipalities, you're not going to get what you thought you were going to get. And so here we are. This is the lowest you can get. And that's okay. But that's why there's a freeze, to the extent that there's a freeze. I also will say that going back a meeting or two ago, because of the situation and with the virus financially, we have extended our water bills that came out this month. Some of you have gotten it in the mail, received them in the mail, and you have to the end of the month to pay it, but then we extended that payment till July 31. So you have May, you have June, and then July 31, we would want you to pay your water bill that you're getting in the mail this week. Next month, come June 1, after that, next few days of June, you'll receive your sewer bill. And you have till August 31. We extended them 60 days each. You have till August 31 to pay with no penalty. There'll be no penalty. So just to put that out there again. Thank you. Next on the agenda is a request for training for Tim Green to obtain pesticide license at a cost of approximately $410. Tim came to me with this, and he's interested in doing this. He would be our only person on board down at the Highway Department that we can send around to spray what DEC allows us to spray with getting rid of weeds in the sidewalk, etc., etc. So if we allow him to take this course, he would be our guy instead of hiring someone from the outside.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee DeSalvo, seconded by trustee Ramus. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Next, request from the fire chief to surplus the 2008 Dodge Durango and put the vehicle on the auction site. It's a new way for us to get rid of that we signed on to. Normally we would put a little ad in the paper and get sealed bids, 200, 300, maybe 500 if we were lucky on a vehicle. If you remember our last meeting, there was a vehicle, a water plant vehicle, and you know, we would have gotten a couple $100 for it. We ended up getting $3,200. So the auction did pan out to be what they said it would be, although that was our first time. We'll see, this is our second time. So if I could have a motion to surplus this 2008 Dodge Durango that is under the fire department. Motion by trustee Livesey, is there a second?
Second.
seconded by trustee Ramus, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the Community Development Block Grant. That's a county grant for 2018. We received this grant to do sidewalks on West Point Highway, just over the hill here, from Webb Lane down to Veterans Way, and then it'll jump up on the back side, the West Point Highway side of Memorial Park, and go to the clock. A lot of folks, especially Wine Green folks, the older folks, walk there to go to the food store and the drugstore, so you'll see a dirt path there behind the gazebo. Now we'll be able to have nice sidewalks for them to walk and to push their carts back and forth. We had 4 bids. They ranged from $273,000 to the low bid of $108,200. The low bid was given to the county for their approval, since the money is coming from them. They approved the low bidder after looking at his bid specs and the bids, and they have approved. So tonight would be a night we would want to award to Lescon in court. Lescon, $108,200.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee DeSalvo, second by trustee Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'm going to go off the agenda for a moment and continue to talk about West Point Highway sidewalks that we just awarded to the low bidder. As you all know, we have from the county to do this job $96,000. As I just said to you, the bid came in at $108,200, so we're a little short. So last Monday, a week ago today, this email was sent to me by the county saying that they have $1 million in community development block grants that they will entertain, I'd like to put it that way, that they will entertain if any municipality would like to add dollars to a current project. It's not for a new project, it's for a current project. So the only current, and we do a lot of community development block grant here, senior citizens, different things. But the only one that we have open right now is the West Point Highway. As I said, we have $96,000 from the county. It's a little short. So this was filled out, sent back on time, asking for $12,200 that we can add to the 96, $12,200. And then it was also for if a municipality wanted to put in for PPEs, masks, hand sanitizer, gloves, and food for those in need. So I did do that. I put in for $12,200 to add to our $96,000. That would be, if we get it, we're home free. I put in for $20,000 for PPE, protective equipment. And I put in for $30,000 for food assistance. Told them why we needed all that, where it would go, who it would service. And I think we have a, if I can call this an application, I think we have a good application.
And Nancy?
Pardon?
And Nancy?
Elena.
Elena.
And so, another time we'll talk, I'd like you to see if you could help. Okay? So hopefully this is something good that if we get it, okay? I wanted to add that to this sidewalk, so thank you. Okay, the next item is a change order to the north end sidewalks. The change order is referring to the north ends, is referring to the north end sidewalks that we just did last fall. And it's a change order to do this end sidewalks from just up the street here by Lady Cliff Park to Mountain Avenue. You have a low bid, it's a change order, so you have an additional increase of $209,335.50. Now, we can approve that tonight, or actually what I would like to do is to table it, with your permission. I would like to have a meeting with Todd and some of the board members to discuss not so much the job itself, but to discuss the cost. It won't hurt anything. I hope to have this wrapped up to present it at the next meeting. I could end up presenting the same thing that's here tonight.
Well, I think it's worth having Todd's input, so.
We've had Todd's input, but I want to get Ralph involved, our treasurer, Todd, and a board member and myself, and then we'll take it back to you guys.
Motion to table.
Is there any objections? Motion table. It's tabled. All right, Gina? Thank you. All right, Brian? You okay with that? Okay. Thank you. Next is, we're going to go back again to the West Point Highway, authorizing the mayor to sign with Todd, our engineer. JFRA Construction Administration Contract, Community Development Block Grant 2018 West Point Highway Sidewalk Project in the amount of $19,500 and the necessary papers to move the project forward. That we should, we authorized the job and now we need to do the engineering.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Howard. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee DeSalvo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. I'm going to ask that the following item be also tabled because it relates to the Main Street sidewalks that we just tabled. The motion I was going to ask for was authorizing myself, the mayor, to sign again with Todd, our engineering company, the engineering phase 2 of the cost, which is $39,600 for engineering. It's, you know, that's what it costs. That's what it costs. And you know, there's an old, not really joke that I say, but I've been saying it for years. There's a joke out there that an attorney, you know, costs to have an attorney. But I've been saying for years, I'd rather have two attorneys and no engineer, because the engineering is tough.
You're
I
absolutely.
don't know if that makes sense to you, but
I'll do the engineering.
Well, I'll make a motion to table.
hopefully you get my point. But I'd like to have this table because we don't need the engineering tonight. In 2 weeks from now, again, it might be on the agenda.
Motion.
Motion, we don't need a motion.
Well,
No, that's okay.
you know.
You're asking for it to be tabled. Is there any objections? Motion, the item is tabled. Thank you. Thank you. Next is an extension request. And again, the extension request has come to me because of the virus and the lack of business. But as you remember, we allowed a meeting 2 or 3 ago, American Burrito, to set up camp in the parking lot across from Sacred Heart for 3 months, because he would have his new place, moving out of his place at the north end. He has a new place in Fort Montgomery. things haven't worked out exactly the way he had thought because of the virus, and it closed down his business, and money, of course, is tight.
Mr. Mayor, I spoke to him, and if it's good with the board, I understand that there is a second spot available that wasn't taken, is that correct?
Mhm.
So, what I would recommend is just to let him have that until the end of the season then.
Well,
And that would be at the $300 cost.
I would like to talk to him to see if he wants it.
He does.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask him, we gotta keep this whole thing,
Yep.
like, you know,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna ask him to submit a letter to us,
okay.
asking for his time period of 3 months to be extended to whatever month, okay?
Yep.
But as far as, you may remember when we approved this, we said $600, it was $200 a month for 3 months, $600. But again, he asked me, and I'm bringing it back to the board, he wants the extension to August 1. So let's take care of that first,
Okay,
and then to see what else he wants.
yeah.
And I'll go by and see him.
Yep.
Or Jimmy, you can, whatever. So if I could have a motion to extend American Burrito's payment of $600 till August 1.
Motion.
Second.
Gina, is that cover it?
Yeah.
Is there something else you want in there?
Well, we still need to see his permit.
The health permit.
I just texted.
He texted him.
He texted me and
Yeah.
I thought I forwarded it to him.
All right, so the motion is to extend the $600 payment to the village to August 1 by American Burrito.
Yeah.
That's a motion by,
Is it a money extension and a time extension too? Is he asking for another 30 days or just?
What my recommendation is
I'm sorry.
is after the conversation with the mayor, and you see how it is, I think that being that there wasn't a second vendor, is just to let him have it for the rest of the season.
Wouldn't he have to bid for that? And if he put in a
Well,
bid,
whatever
if
he
he
has
put
to
in the bid, he
do.
could just take the second spot and,
Yeah.
and we're done, right?
I will get back to you.
Yeah,
Okay,
Let me take care of this.
I'm good with the extension.
So there's a motion by Merv to extend to August 1 to $300. Is there a second? Seconded by trustee Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And just for memory, you remember, I hope, that we extended the hot dog guy to July 1. $300. That was what his bid was, so that's how the 300 came about. So, but July 1, he's supposed to come and give us $300. Okay, just for reference, okay?
that's correct.
Okay, next I have a request from the Highway Superintendent to take off probation the DPW laborer Quindell Washington, effective the 4th of May 2020, which is today, per the recommendation of the DPW Superintendent John Jones.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Howard. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Seconded by trustee DeSalvo. May I have roll call?
Trustee Howard?
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay?
Aye.
Trustee DeSalvo?
Yes.
Trustee Ramus?
Aye.
Mayor D'Onofrio?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm for it, but I abstain. A little different. So I have 4 yeses and 1 abstention. Okay? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Okay, next I have a request from the village clerk to correct a re-levy amount of unpaid 2019 sewer bills to the 2020 village taxes. You may remember last meeting I read off the delinquent sewer bills. And the amount was $115,707.34. We had someone come in and pay. It was like an overlap of there was an overlap. So the unpaid goes down from $115,707 to $107,814. You have that on your agenda. Okay? May I have a motion that it reflects that amount?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Ramus, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee DeSalvo, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I have bills and claims for fiscal year 2019, 2020, again, the end of this month, that fiscal year ends, of $192,935.64.
Make a motion, we pay the bills and claims.
Motion by trustee DeSalvo, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Howard seconded, may I have a motion to approve? No, sorry, all in favor, not a motion.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Okay. So just a little update on the virus. As of 3 o'clock this afternoon, and numbers change. And it's sad to say the numbers change in that they're going up. These are Orange County numbers, just for Orange County. They're not anywhere else but the Orange County. As of 3 o'clock this afternoon, since early March, we have 9,282 cases. 9,282 cases. Since Saturday, 2 days ago, that number went up 96 people. There's 165 folks in the hospital in Orange County. There's 953 total that have been in the hospital that have recovered. 953 have recovered. And the last figure is always the most difficult one, is the deaths. In Orange County, we have 343 folks that have passed. 343, and since Saturday, that's nine up. 9 is much more than 0. So, okay. This Saturday, the 9th of May, I will be in the parking lot across from Sacred Heart from 11 to 1. If anyone would like to join me for part of that time, it would be nice. I'd appreciate it, but only if you have time. Again, this Saturday from 11 to 1, and what I will do is hand out packages of masks. That's the kind that I'm wearing. I think there's 5 in here. So I will hand these out. If you pull up, you don't have to get out of your car. I'm just gonna, with my gloves on, not these packages. I have a box downstairs that's not open. I will pick one up and I will hand it to you. Or I will lay it on your car seat, whatever you would like. And for those that can bring by any food, I will take food from you. I don't mean a pizza from me, I mean food. You know, cereal, spaghetti sauce, canned vegetables, canned fruit, peaches, applesauce, whatever you want to give. I'll take a bag from you, I'll take a box from you, I'll take one item from you, and I will give you this. It's not you give me that, I give you this. These are, whoever pulls up is going to get one of these. But if you can bring any food, you want to put it in your trunk, you pop your trunk, I'll take it out. I'll have a village truck there to put it in the village truck. And it'll be delivered with Brian's help to the food pantries. Okay, Brian, next week?
Yep.
So please, folks, I'm asking for a favor. There's such a need. There is such a need. So anything that you can give as far as food will be appreciated. Again, I will give you these masks when you pull up. I also want to go to Wyan Green and talk to the manager, Brian, maybe you can come with me one day, and I want to give her a package of these for every apartment down there. Okay? Beautification. I know we have as I said many times tonight, a virus going on. And it's not good. But I still need to do other projects, still have to move forward. And they are. So beautification. The compliments that we had received last year were very nice, and we want to continue that. And so with the new sidewalks and new Main Street, I have ordered new street furniture, meaning benches, trash receptacles. Planters, we're going to keep the planters we had on the sidewalk. We repainted them all. And the beautification committee is buying flowers to put in each planter. So I have ordered street furniture, i.e. benches and trash receptacles. A decision has to be made relatively short period from now. I would like it to be worked on during at least midsummer for a water fountain to put in Lady Cliff Park. And I will come back to you with a couple of designs for a water fountain for the park. The USAA garden. Now people say, well, where's the USAA garden? If you know where USAA is, up by Thayer Gate, in the middle island there's a large garden. It's shrubs, it's trees, it's small shrubs. USAA planted that years ago. But through different managers taking over, they no longer take care of it. And so the village highway crew will adopt that area to take care of it. And I have someone up that's going to meet with them up there that tell them what needs to be taken out, what needs to be pruned, and all that. And we'll put a little sign up there that that's their garden. The shop local sign at the north end. Again, some folks might say, well, where is that? The only way I can describe it is if you come out of the northern gate of Lady Cliff, you're looking right at it. Before you make a right to go to West Point or a left to come down Main Street, there's a gray sign with black lettering that says Shop Local. It's in disrepair. It needs to be painted. A nice garden needs to be put along the base of it. Hannibal needs more color, and the beautification is working on that. And so everyone knows this month, May 15th, is Hannibal's 15th birthday. He turns 15. You didn't know that, did you? He turns 15, he's a teenager. He turns 15. It's important to me. There's another Highland Falls welcome sign that gets lost, I think, where it's at, and it's right at the top of Havens Road. Jimmy, you guys know where it is?
Nope.
No, I know, it gets lost there and it's in disrepair. So we're going to take care of that sign. We're going to put flowers and clean it up. And then the other sign is down, the other Highland Falls sign that needs work is down by the ambulance corps. That needs a complete facelift. And I'll come back to you with what those three welcome signs, suggestions that need to be done besides painting the sign, but flowers and shrubs. Janet Dutt, who heads the beautification committee, has gone to Devitt's and picked out the flowers that are going to go into the hanging baskets that we put on all the telephone poles. The hanging baskets are being brought to Devitt's tomorrow for Devitt's to fix each one up, and then we'll pick them up and hang them.
The flower store is going to be open too.
The flower, I'm going to get to that. I'll get to that. Yeah? Okay. I think, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, I think you're going to talk about something that I'm going to touch on, just so you know.
Okay.
So, there's comments made and comments made. I'm used to comments now. Took a while. But I want everyone to know that's watching, I know that I'm preaching to the choir of the ones that are in the room. The village clerk knows this for sure. The trustees know this for sure. I think that our village attorney knows this for sure. Only because I am the mayor, I get to work with these folks, but it isn't only me that works with these folks. What folks? Steve Newhouse, the county doctor, Gilman, Jim is her name? Emergency Services,
Brendan Casey.
Brendan Casey. They have been great to the Village of Highland Falls when I have called with a health issue with the virus, with needing masks. In fact, today we picked up a couple hundred masks, we picked up hand sanitizer, we picked up shields for the Village of Highland Falls workers, water plant, sewer plant, DPW, Village Hall. They are so with us. They've known me for a long time. They know you folks on the board for a long time. I know some folks might not like this, but I cannot give enough thanks. I only hope that they know about this, what I'm going to say, because I want them to know about it. The Superintendent of the United States Military Academy, General Williams, and the Garrison Commander, Colonel Marson. Like that. Like that. I will never be able to go public with how they have helped this village, because they want things, sometimes they just want things left there. They're good friends to this village. I need something. I ask for something, before the day is out, I have it. The same goes, believe it or not, Senator Schumer, Senator Gillibrand. We know them. We call them. Their offices are in Newburgh. They're close. I deal with an assistant out of each one, the same person, which is good. It's not somebody different all the time. They know our plight. They know we're next to West Point. They know we're a small community. They know we need help. Whether it's for Main Street or it's this virus, grants, it doesn't matter. I'm so happy about this, and I always have been. I'm almost done. The same with Senator Skoufis. We had a friend in Bill Larkin. Bill was a loss. How could he not be? He was decades in the Senate, New York State Senate. He knew us, just lived in Cornwall. But James Skoufis is becoming the same person. Colin Smith. Colin calls me all the time, our assemblyman. Everyone knows this. Most people watching TV know this. We had a great assemblywoman. And she happened to be also my friend, Nancy Calhoun. Nancy got out, she retired. James Skoufis got her job, he moved up to Larkin's job, and Colin Smith got Skoufis' job, which was Nancy Calhoun's job. I don't have to say any more about that. Our Congressman Maloney. He's a good guy. I call him. Sometimes I have issues to the north. He helps me. I don't have to say much about Bob Livesey. I have a problem, I have an issue, I want to pick his brain. I want to say, hey Bob, what would you do? I go out the front door, and about, used to take me a half a minute, now it takes me a minute, I'm in his office. All right? The community is, I'm fortunate to have these folks. The community is fortunate to have these folks. I say that because of other reasons. It's good though for everyone to know what's on. Okay. Playground. I point to you because you called me. I'm going to read something and then we're going to take care of your question to me. Rowe Park and the Center Street Park just around the corner here. They're the only two village parks. I don't know the date, but we closed the parks down because of the virus. It was the right move. If other communities don't want to shut their parks down, that's fine. If other communities want to shut their parks down and then reopen them, That's fine. It's fine. Open air play presents significantly less risk of respiratory droplets, transmissions of COVID-19 than children playing in the confined spaces such as a playground. So all I'm saying is what you came to me. Playing catch with a football in the grass
Yeah.
is a lot safer than 3 kids playing on the swing set or the slide set where they're closer to one another. That's what I just said. These droplets settle and disperse quicker outdoors due to the air and the wind. As long as the children maintain their social distances of 6 feet or more, playing outside, kicking the ball around, playing catch is safe. Of course, we all have to remember, including me, to wash our hands as much during the day as we can. Biking, walking, having picnics together can also be done safely, 6 feet apart. Until there's opinion, until there's a vaccine where we won't get the virus, the best way is this, and you stay 6 feet from me. That's the best thing we can do until somebody smart comes up with a shot. So, for those that criticized of why that the park was shut down, the playground was shut down, etc., let me also say this. I can't say it's a silver lining because I don't know about any silver linings for the because of the virus. The virus is bad. All sides of it. There's no lining where it's good. But it did happen, and so we had to shut the park down. But the park would have been shut down anyway because we're spending the $140,000 grant to redo the rubber surface on the playground, to redo a brand new basketball court, and to do major renovations to the pool. So those 3 items would have been shut down anyway, if there was no virus. If the park was open, i.e. the playground, I would require the DPW to go over to the park 3 times a day. In the morning, at lunchtime, and at the end of the afternoon, to wipe down every piece of equipment. On Saturdays and Sundays also, more on Saturday and Sunday. I take my responsibilities of mayor very serious, and I am going to do everything I can not to let our children, the best thing we have in this community, get sick. I can't guarantee anything, but I can do my best to not let it happen. And closing down the playground is a part of that. I'll open it back up, but not today. And again, it has to be shut anyway because of the renovations. Now, to end this, Trustee Livesey called me today and asked me if I would consider opening up the field,
The field,
the grass.
right.
People want to go out there and play catch, or baseball catch, or football catch. They want to fly a kite, or a dozen other things that they can possibly do.
You can take a soccer ball, the nets are up, however, no teams, no team play. No team play.
So, I will say yes. The caveat is, if I see anything, it's going to stop. You know, I don't mean the first time. We'll have the police go over and say, hey, look, guys, you got to back off a little bit here.
Right.
You know, help me with that, Merv.
I'm up there every day.
I want it to happen.
I'm there every day.
Yeah.
I
All
certainly
right.
will.
So we're going to let them play in the grass
Yep.
of Roe Park, where the pavilion is. Not the pavilion,
Right.
not the baseball diamond, softball diamond, but the grass.
The grass.
I will allow that. Is everyone okay with that? Jimmy? Well, tell me. It's okay.
Yeah, I would just say everyone should just use some type of minimal discretion, you know.
It's just, you know, it's going to be a learning, training phase for everyone. So it's just something right now, sooner or later, we'll have to, I don't like using the word test, but we'll start out with the field, frisbee, a football. Actually, there was a couple up there today throwing a football. And the other field, which I want to talk to you real brief about on that other field, but anyway, it's just for the kids just to run. Just to run and get something out.
Let's try, I don't mind trying.
Yeah.
I don't mind
Well,
trying.
I appreciate that.
You want to know about another field? We should
With
get,
the boulders.
Oh,
School field.
That's, I don't know,
it's the, you know what it is? I don't know if we might even disagree. For me, it's the biggest eyesore in Highland Falls.
and
That's, and there's a couple others out there.
they have to
It's a
put,
disgrace.
they have to put, soil down. It's just, it's a rock field right now.
Terrible. But the school's working on it.
Okay.
Let's wait a little longer.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Well, I appreciate it.
No, okay? Yes, ma'am.
Could you please just clarify and say the Little League field is off limits?
Little League field is off limits, and so is the softball field off, softball diamond, infield, I guess you'd say. Shawnee, is that what you would call it?
Yeah. And there's gonna be no team play. So in other words, if they wanna have soccer or whatever they wanna do, a couple kids kicking it back and forth, but you can't have a team
Right.
play.
Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right, stores that are open, important thing here, stores that are open. So, I'm gonna go down this quick, and Brian, if you wanna add anything. Andy's Restaurant has pickup and delivery. Want a nice pancakes and bacon and home fries? Go pick it up or call up and they'll deliver it to your house. They even go to Tuxedo. Best breakfast you ever had. Seriously. Barnstormer in Fort Montgomery, they have pickup. Bear Mountain Pizza, the old Oak, they have pickup and delivery. Good pizza. Hacienda, right down the road here, pickup and delivery. Tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo. Correct, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a day to eat and drink
Responsibly.
responsibly. Ah, boy, I tell you, you're good. Who said that?
Me.
Oh, Jimmy did. Hacienda, you can get a pickup or a delivery. Mama Benita's, just up here. For us old timers, it was called the Radio Bar. They have pickup. So you see some have pickup, some pick up and deliver. Park Restaurant, pick up and deliver. Richie's, in Fort Montgomery, pick up. I saw a great menu for Mother's Day. And Cinco de Mayo. They have pickup. West Point Pizza, pickup and delivery. Hoffman's, pickup. It's not on this list, but I think he's open B. Rose, pickup. And then the only other one I have is Lilies of the Valley, one of the nicest shops in town. She's going to open up tomorrow, May 5. Pickup and delivery. And don't forget, this weekend is Mother's Day. Pickup and delivery at Lilies of the Valley.
Sir?
Yep.
I believe the liquor store is open with a phone number to call in also.
Okay.
I'm not sure, I think the one down in Fort Montgomery is also open, but I'm not sure of that one.
Okay. You know that we have been trying to help out the businesses. We have the $50 gift certificate. We'll get you a parking pass for a whole year on Main Street. You don't have to pay the meters. You know that if you give $50 to the food pantry, you can get the same parking pass for a whole year for Main Street. I've been visiting each restaurant at least three times, if not more, a week, giving them updates on West Point graduation, when the cadets are coming back, et cetera, et cetera. So we're trying to do the best that we can to help them. And so, starting when restaurants can open up, which is not yet here in Orange County, but when they can, and I've talked to the village attorney, I am going to, through an executive order, if it has to be, have the section in the code book 200-14 allowing services at tables outside on the sidewalk. I am going to allow tables and chairs on the sidewalk on Main Street, from Fairgate to Mountain Avenue. The only thing has to be done, or be recognized, that a handicap wheelchair has to have room to get by, and I don't think that'll be a problem. So any restaurant that wants to put tables and chairs out on the sidewalk to service their customers when restaurants are able to serve again, will be allowed after I suspend for 30 days. I'll do it 30 days at a time. So when I do it, when the ban is lifted that restaurants can open, I will put a 30-day order out that you can put tables and chairs, and before that 30 days is up, I will more than likely extend it. I'll keep extending it until I don't have to anymore.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
A suggestion? Because you talked about a wheelchair access going by. Maybe we should think about allowing the 2 parking spaces in front of the place for them to put the tables out during the day. It's just a suggestion, maybe something you might want to think about. They could block it off. They could probably have a little more room than on the sidewalk.
But they're in the road. I don't particularly like that they're in the road, but I'll think about it.
Okay, I mean, it was a suggestion, but
No, it's fine.
point well taken too, that they are in the road.
It's fine. Anything we can do to help them, we're going to do. Anyone thinks of something, tell me. If there's anyone listening, thinks of something that I can do for the businesses, tell me. It'll be done. An update on West Point graduation. We know it's going to be June 13th. My last meeting, which was last Friday, they don't know the time. They have a June 13th, but not the time yet. The new cadets, our day, that date has not been provided yet. They're trying to do as much as they can, even though it's federal property, as to what the state and the county is doing, as far as allowing or not allowing certain items. My meeting with the garrison commander was the 27th of April. I believe that the graduation is going to be held on the plains, the parade field. They don't know who's going to be allowed in yet, i.e. the family or not. What concerns me is the families will be here on Main Street. Seniors, firsties, will start returning to West Point on May 27th, 200 to 300 every couple of days. The reason for 200 to 300 every couple of days, during those couple of days, they're going to test each cadet. Going to give them a test for the virus. Each cadet will be tested. The other classes, the other 3 classes will start returning to West Point on July 5th. Summer troopers are coming to train. No tourists, of course, are allowed on West Point. And local hotels are being booked for graduation. That's the... I have been assured by West Point for support, along with the Sheriff's Department of Orange County and the State Police, that when graduation comes, they're available at my request to be here in case there is any demonstrations one way or the other with the President coming. I will take advantage of all the support that I can get. Trustee Howard and I spoke a lot, but last week we spoke about saving money. And I had so much to prepare for tonight. This was a quick memory here that the board has done. You know, we have pre-construction meetings. I don't care what takes place, from West Point highways getting repaved, to Main Street getting done, to even on private property, a new hotel coming. We have pre-meetings before the construction. And then we have post-meetings. What did we forget? What could we have done better? A whole host of things, and notes are taken. I have a folder on each project. That saves money. The salt, with West Point buying winter salt for West Point, is going to make the village money. Paving West Point streets, for which we're in negotiations with, is going to make the village a lot of money. A lot of money. That'll be money that we don't have to ask the taxpayers for in their tax bill. As I said a couple months ago, we had a refinancing of a loan that we took out in 2009. We have saved $450,000 in interest payments. We do an extensive amount of mutual aid with other DPW departments, Woodbury, Goshen, the county, the town, when we need equipment. If we didn't do that, we'd have to rent equipment. We'd have to buy another dump truck. But because we have this nice mutual aid and we know each other's departments and folks, you ask for something. And of course, when they need something, they ask us. I spoke about the budget freeze a while ago. And I will say about the budget, I will tell you in September of this year, which is 3 months into the new budget, the board will get together again and have a recap of the first 3 months to see where we're at. Again, because of the virus, again, because of revenue is going to be cut short. So 3 months in, even though I'll be watching it for the first 3 months, the first 3 months in, after 3 months, we're going to sit down with the treasurer, see where we're at. And then I'm going to do it again every month. But for sure, 3 months later, which is 6 months into the new budget, we're going to sit down. Because that'll bring us up to our first 2 checks out of 4 checks that we get for the county for sales tax. And those are the ones that are going to be affected because of this past January and February and March and now April. These are the checks that we didn't get yet that we're going to get. And they're going to be less than what we had thought. So I can tell the community that we're watching, literally watching, every day, the money. To save more money, the DPW is going to do the ceiling, the black ceiling at the north end, the part we didn't blacktop, where the parking spaces are. We're going to do that ceiling. That was $15,000 we had in the budget to hire a company. I will let you all know what it's going to cost us, but not 15. Okay? We're going to have to talk about, and sooner, like now, sooner, about the Bog Meadow and Upper Bog and Lower Bog. We've had some reports that were done. There's some things we can do in-house, such as brush. There's a couple trees growing out of the stone wall. We're going to cut those. But I do know that the cap on top of one of the dams has to be replaced, concrete cap. So I want to bring whatever it is to your attention because we have to take care of the dam. Dams, there's 2 of them. Cell towers. With the village attorney's help, and Clint Smith, the gentleman we hired, that's the expert on cell towers. There was a meeting here on the 30th of April, last week, with Verizon. They had 3 folks here. They were looking at placing some antennas, not tower, but some antennas, more than one, on the roof here. They've been up there. They went up there on April 30th also. And so we're looking at placing some antennas. They're going to come back with a final plan, I hope, and we'll talk to them. I'll try to get as many of you at the meeting as I can. I'll let you know when it is. I've asked the attorney to communicate with them on, and she has, on setting up an escrow, because any time that the village attorney spends on the cell tower, or any time that our expert, our consultant, Clint, spends on cell towers, like they did on April 30th, needs to be paid for by Verizon. It will not come out of the village taxpayers' money. And so that was done. And I spoke about it with them that day, right around the corner here, and they know they're gonna have to do this. So thank you. We're still under a state of emergency with this virus. The only reason I bring it up is that every 30 days, I have to give a new state of emergency declaration in, and I have, and this one will take us to April 30th. Before April 30th, if the virus has not been corrected, which I doubt by then it will, I will send in another declaration, and this is on file. This is also on the village website.
You mean May 30th?
I mean May 30th. The calendar's tough now for some reason with me. I don't know why, with everything. Sorry. Thank you. All right, my last thing is this, and then Brian, I'm going to turn it over to you. I think it's important that the public know a little bit, as much as I can write here and think down, as far as what we've been doing during the last couple of weeks. And I spend more time here now than I ever did, including Saturdays and Sundays, and that's okay. That's not a complaint. But as many know downstairs, the highway department and the other departments, except for the police department, I initiated a very liberal leave policy in that they all are not into work every day. The town does that with all their departments down at the town hall, the highway department, and different organizations that they're in charge of. But that doesn't mean that work isn't being done, is where I want to go with this, because work is being done. I have this, folks that know me know about my folders. I have more folders now than I ever had. Each folder is a project. I have more now than I had 2 months ago. So I'm going to go through this quick. And this is only a partial list, but it's to show the community that their tax dollars are working and we're getting things done. We're not just sitting around saying, darn this virus. We're saying darn this virus at the same time that we're doing the following. Repaired Bog Meadow Road. Repairs to Bog Meadow Dam. Both dams. 39, this is the water department, 39 markouts since April the 13th. Red water meters for Billings. Daily and monthly testing. Daily and monthly. That water has to be tested. It just doesn't throw some stuff in there and it comes out your faucet. It has to meet certain standards every single day. Drained and worked on Roe Park Pool. Working on a 12-inch drain valve that's leaking. Installed new chlorine pump. And several water breaks that were fixed. That's the water plant. Believe me, there's much more than that. Much more. Village Hall. Prepared water bills for mailing. I bet some people wish they didn't have time to do that, but they did. Installed a drop box. In the front of the Village Hall, there's a drop box. Nice box. Little slot in it. You can drop now your water bills in there, your sewer bills in there, your village taxes in there. If you want to, I shouldn't say this, well, even though for the mayor you put that, be nice. But that was installed downstairs right outside the front door. So you don't have to come in. Worked on, and does a lot of work on this, worked on and finished the 2021 budget. Thank you, Gina. Thank you very much. Continued to keep the office running with small crew, answering calls, recording death certificates, payroll, bills and claims, submission of grant paperwork, tremendous amount of work. It's so easy, I sit up here and say, we just got a grant for $140,000. There's paperwork literally like this for that $140,000. I have the easy part. She has the hard part. And the prep that she does for village board meetings. The wastewater, sewer plant. Major work and removing and replacing equipment from the Pellwood Pump Station. Painted the entire maintenance building at main plant, assisted by DPW. Removed the old belt press that caught on fire. Big job, with replacement beginning. Working on non-portable water system upgrades, daily and monthly reports that DEC requires. I'm so proud of the sewer plant. They meet DEC all the time. It's one of the best plants on the Hudson River, either side. That's not Joe Donofrio's opinion, that's DEC's opinion. Daily cleaning and maintenance of the entire plant. Again, very short list of much more that they do. Street department, working on south end sidewalks, replaced all the fountains. We have 2 new fountains over at Roe Park, and we have a new fountain down here at Memorial Park. Began village-wide pothole repairs. Rose Drive and Wyatt Terrace repairs continue. Replaced diesel tank at the DPW building. Start to clean and do repairs to the Little League field, along with the town crew. Patched all DPW water digs over the winter from the leaks that were repaired. Weekly pickup of village-wide leaves and brush. That's a constant, everyday, almost item. I rake my leaves, put them out there in the bag. My neighbor sees I have a bag, he does his a couple of days later.
You're in and out every hour.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Completed sump pump project at the village. We had to have a sump pump put in. They did it. We didn't have to go outside. You'd be amazed. I'm going to do a report someday of what we do in-house with the personnel that we have. Tremendous amount of work where we save taxpayers' money. The mechanic repaired 2 police cars, putting brakes in, getting all the grass cutting equipment ready, getting all the pavement equipment ready after sitting all winter. The asphalt roller is being repaired right now. Put new brooms onto our street sweeper. General maintenance on all vehicles. They even found time to remove a couple of the state historic markers. You see them, they're blue with yellow, blue and yellow. I guess that's the state colors. And they repainted those. One was at Memorial Park and one was for Molly Corbin down by Cragston. So that's a short list of things that all the departments are doing, and I'm proud of all of them during these difficult, and they are difficult times. We try to keep them 6 feet apart. 2 guys are going out on a job. We say take 2 trucks. Some of their jobs put them closer together. They're supposed to wear a mask. So they do. They do. And the last thing that I have is, mentioned it very early on, is Mother's Day. Important, it's an important date, Mother's Day. I don't want to call it so much a holiday. I guess it's some type of holiday, but it's just a very, very special day. I wish I had spent more time telling my mother Happy Mother's Day on Mother's Day than just saying Happy Mother's Day, Mom. You know, during my short visit, I should have spent more time. But that's what you learn after they go. So if your mom's still around, spend some time with her. Give her a hug. Believe me, she'll never forget. Mr. Howard.
I'm sure everybody is aware that our senator now has contracted coronavirus. He sent out an email. He's doing well. Some pain, headaches, the whole 9 yards. I called his office a few days before he contracted the virus, and I spoke with Carlos about our needs for repairing sidewalks, paving roads throughout the village. I also spoke about our problems with DOT. The senator has met with DOT, has called DOT, and is doing his very best to solve our problem. He is well aware of the problems on 218, and he and Assemblyman Schmidt came here twice to look at the roads, and that's greatly appreciated. We know what we need to do on 218. The issue is both for our residents and for tourists coming in here. We are extremely fortunate to be able to work with both parties from the federal level down to the local level. It is not unusual for the mayor to ask Gina or a trustee, call this person, call that person, ask them about the funding. Good leadership is the ability to work with everyone. We cannot afford to emulate Congress. We need to step across the aisles and work together. As writing these notes, I thought about President Reagan and Tip O'Neill. Two different people, two different styles, two different beliefs in government, yet they worked very well together and passed policy and laws that helped our country. We are going to be facing some tough times, economically and socially, and that's going to affect the town of Highlands. We need to put our residents and communities' needs ahead of our own party affiliations. I certainly didn't like all the platforms and beliefs that some of the candidates that I supported. Yet it's not about the individual, it's about working together as a team. We need to keep the big picture in mind, and that is to ensure a positive quality of life for all our residents. We have had numerous meetings on the new village budget. The freeze has been mentioned. We need to be flexible about the new programs and projects that we'd like to complete. Our sales tax is going to be different. The budget at the state and federal level is going to face some issues. But it's not just up to the village board to deal with these issues. Our residents have already shown their dedication, donating to our food pantries, helping out their neighbors, supporting businesses, calling up seniors who are either ill or homebound. We are now going to have a banner program, Town of Highlands banner program for first responders. That means LPNs, nurses, paramedics, EMTs, doctors, police, fire, all the way down the line. And that'll be run again by Kat DeGav, just as she did with the soldiers. We're going to have to face some tough times, make some tough decisions, but I believe we're going to come out of this period stronger and closer as a community.
All set?
Yep.
Thank you.
Murph, just a couple things, I have to do this down. First of all, I appreciate that with Roe Park, getting that back together, and I think a lot of the families and the children are all going to enjoy that too. Mr. Mayor, you mentioned the water. I would just like to remind everybody at home, I know we're coming into the part where we're turning the valves on for our water, the valves that haven't been on all winter long. We have to watch leakage. So when you turn them valves on, make sure that you double check and make sure you don't have some kind of leakage going on. We've had issues about that here on water bills, and water bills are going out. So when you turn on your water, make sure you look for leakage that's out there. That brings me into the next category, which I'll be talking to Bruce this week, property maintenance. There's a lot of properties out there already that I went around over the weekend, and you cannot just let your lawn go. You can't do that, especially right now. The virus is out there, but that has nothing to do with property maintenance. We still have to make sure that we take care of that, and there's several properties already right now, they're repeat offenders, as last year. This board knows who they are, and they're going already. I'll be meeting with Bruce and Mr. Mayor. I'll give you a whole sheet on all of that, what we come up with. But that's not going to make any excuse for what's going on with this coronavirus right now. We will move forward with the property maintenance. One last thing that happened over this weekend here, I actually got a call at my house, and after I went to the area where this was, I went down to a couple other areas and I heard it. If you have a dog, and you put your dog out back of your house, and he's barking, you have to do something with him. You can't just leave him out there. Mr. Commissioner, I'm not sure what that violation is, but I know there is a violation against that.
What's the question?
for the barking dogs that are out there.
Could fall under the noise ordinance.
So anyway, this is sort of just a suggestion, when that does happen, you put your dog outside, and you know your dog is barking, just remember that everybody is home right now, and we have to take care of that. And lastly, I don't know how the board feels about this. I don't know if, Mr. Mayor, a couple of those potholes that are the entrance of coming into the village here, if we should try to maybe do something with them, but there's actually 2 of them now that are deep.
Okay, so, you brought it up, and I'll say this. Again, you're right, and we all know this. When you come down Mountain Avenue, past the water plant, and before you get to the first house, Mr. Julian lived there. Just before that, heading down, the road is very bad. Very bad. It's not a large section, but it's the whole section, what's there. The other area you're talking about is South Main Street that we talk about lately every meeting.
Right.
There are some very deep ones there. Both areas belong to New York State, DOT. I wish that Department of Transportation would adopt a highway. I wish they have that program, Adopt a Highway. I'd like them to adopt their own highway. But that's not gonna happen. So we're not gonna beat that up again. So we have 2 choices. 2 choices for the foreseeable future. What that means, I'm not quite sure foreseeable. We know that DOT is saying right now, Mr. Howard, that they're not going to pave that road until 2022.
Right.
And with everything that's going on, I hate to keep coming back to the virus, but the state is billions of dollars in the red. So 2022 is going to be 2025. But let's just say 2022 is right. We either wait and it gets worse, because it's not going to get better.
You can't even stay in your lane.
No, you can't.
You can't.
If a cop is behind, I don't like that word cops, if a police officer is behind you, he'll think you're drunk, because you're all over the place.
Right.
So, we have 2 choices. We do nothing, or we repair. Repair meaning fill up the hole.
Yeah.
So that's up to you guys to tell me.
I would say we would have to fill up a couple of the holes. That's my suggestion, because you cannot go down that lane anymore without hitting holes. It's not even like a little bit anymore.
They're deep.
You're hitting holes now. And I think that would be the way to go.
Any other comments?
Well, Todd talked about the permit, remember?
Yeah, but he also told me that we're probably not gonna get it, but,
Probably not.
you know.
That's correct.
Any other, you guys have anything you want to say?
Yeah.
Say it.
How much time do we have?
You have as much, I took up a lot of time, you take up whatever time you want.
You wanna go first, Mr. Ramus?
Okay.
First, a big shout out to the firefighters in the community, as today is...
You're gonna get back to what the question we're on.
Oh, I thought you said...
No, I
Oh.
wanna finish this.
Finish that then.
No, well, any comments?
I would be a no.
You'd be a no.
I would. I hit it every day, but I'd still be a no.
The only reason I say that...
I don't disagree with you, but
the only reason I say that there's a couple holes that we have to hit is because now it's becoming really a hazard. People are actually serving, they're going into the other lane, they're going over the yellow line. The other thing, and I seen this the other day, people walk along that road and the guy actually almost got hit because he went over that white line, and it's very, the vision isn't good when somebody's walking there.
I agree.
So I think just for our residents, our people here, I could care less about the state right now. Because the state, obviously, after what Mr. Ramus did, they could care less. So I think it's just, to fix some of the holes there, I'm not talking the entire road, as the mayor's saying, but that's my suggestion, I would like to do that. I respect
All right.
yours.
All right,
So the legal ramifications and the liability that the village would ensue should they fix the road, I would have to ask the attorney to look into that, to make sure the village is covered if we are working on the state road.
well, I don't think you have to look in too much to it, you
We're
can
we're
answer
not
that tonight.
fixing a road, though. We're
You
not-
know the answer to
We're
that.
not fixing a road, we're only
We do?
taking care of a couple potholes.
We do?
The liability?
Yeah.
Of course we'll be liable.
Okay.
Well, you mean if you fix a pothole in a state road?
Yeah.
First of all, can you do that? Do you need a permit from the state DOT to do that?
Probably. It's
So
not our
once-
road.
Okay, so they give you a permit, it's still their road. So I would look more into this, but I do not think that you create a special duty to anyone by fixing a pothole. In other words, it's still not your street, it's not your road.
You know, I mean, if the potholes are that big, I have seen in some communities where a resident actually went out and planted flowers in a tree in there and took pictures of it, and the state was down there
Pretty funny.
almost immediately to fix the pothole. But that's just something some other communities have done.
I don't know, you know, I just think, well, this is a
I don't,
PG camera, so I have to watch my words for this, but unbelievable.
you know, just on this topic, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I do think it's a problem. I just don't get it. Like, other communities, our potholes on state roads are being fixed. So, I don't know if it's because we sent hundreds of postcards to those elected people we just talked so wonderfully about, but our roads don't seem to be getting the potholes fixed.
But it's not even any more like a problem.
No, no,
But you know what
I'm just
saying.
talking about the ones you want to fill. Like, in other communities, state roads potholes are getting fixed. Like, they're getting filled up. So as I saw them on the road, I saw them on 9W, I've seen them. Like DOT filling the potholes. So my question is, I know we're not gonna get the road paved, I know we're not gonna get a patch put in, but we could at least get the potholes filled. Because I see other communities in the Assembly District and in the Senate District, potholes getting fixed. Now, we've gotten correspondence from one of those elected officials, we haven't gotten it from the other, so,
Yeah, we have, I just gave it.
oh, okay, well, we got it tonight, I'm sorry, but the pothole's not filled yet.
And every time we call, it's the same thing, you're not on schedule. That's not your schedule.
I'm not on schedule to get a pothole filled?
Yep.
See, so me as a taxpayer, I can't accept that. I'm sorry. I don't know when the schedule is.
Right.
Cornwall's been done, New Windsor's been done, Town of Newburgh's been done, you know, so where are we on the schedule? Are we 13th, 23rd? I don't know, I'm just asking. Maybe we can find out when we're on the schedule.
When West Point had the graduation,
Yeah,
they wanted that fixed.
What is it, June 13th?
You're not on schedule.
It didn't be fixed on the
They came
11th.
down and they did a quick
I understand that, and
announcement.
I appreciate that, and I think it's great that they're graduating and all that stuff, but we're here too, you know. So what about us? I'm sorry, I don't, you know, I'm sure every community's asking that.
Here's
but-
what I'm gonna do. I hear everyone, and I actually agree with everyone. And we all agree with what everyone is saying. We shouldn't have to waste all our time, every meeting, talking about that.
Right.
I will do the first step. I will talk, in the next day or two, I'm gonna call you, Elise. We'll talk. The other thing though, I'm gonna call, and I'm gonna call this, make this call before I call you. I'm gonna call, maybe you know this name, Sibby. I've talked about Sibby. Sibby is a big shot with DOT in Newburgh.
Yeah.
I know her well, she knows me well. I'm gonna call Sibby and see if I can get some guidance. The best I can hope for is that she's the guidance herself. So she doesn't have to tell me to call somebody else. And that could be actually. She's a big shot with DOT. So let me call Sibby first. And I'll let you all, I'll take it from there.
Okay.
And you guys will know everything that I'm gonna do. All right?
So, Mr. Mayor, just so you know, I mean, at the last meeting, I did let everybody know that they could send the email or the postcard to the representatives. I did have a couple of people request that information, and I appreciate that from the residents. And anybody who gets correspondence back, please just forward it to me, because I would be more than happy to, just tell me you can't do it, it's not in the budget. And at least we can accept that. But we just need to hear from our elected officials, that's all we're asking. Just, if you can't do it, let me know. And now we know that they're not gonna do it, but.
You mean paid?
Yeah, but
We already
to
know that,
but to not hear back.
but you already know that.
But it's disheartening when we ask a request of an elected official. You get requests all the time, Mr. Mayor, you're overwhelmed with them, and you sit down and address everyone. Everyone. So that's all I'm asking from the elected officials, that's all. You know, and sometimes we can't do things, you know that. And they could just let us know that they're not gonna do it. And as Mr. DeSalvo, suggested that, just let us know when we're on the list for potholes. That's all we're asking.
But that's a DOT issue when we're on the schedule. That's not representatives or senators or assemblymen.
But they could contact the DOT
That's my opinion.
and ask that question and get back in touch with us. Because for us to call the DOT, I don't think we're gonna get an answer as quick as they will.
Okay, let me call Sibby, I'll call Elise, I'll
That's-
call you guys.
Great Avenue,
I don't know, we'll see.
Colin's not getting called back. None of them are getting called back.
Jim,
It's insane.
good, yeah, what do you have, buddy?
Um,
I'm on this, Murph.
I-
Murph, I'm on this.
I'm
Go
like,
ahead.
I disagree with that statement. And this is not a campaign speech, but when I was on the county legislature and somebody needed to get their family member in Valley View, I made one phone call and was able to speak to the right people. Actually, at the time, it was Chairman Brescia. He helped me with the situation, and we got the person in the Valley View nursing home
I happen to know.
that the county runs.
I know.
All right, so I don't necessarily agree that someone can't make a call and something happens. Maybe it's because I've been in this arena a little too long. But when and I agree, I think it's great. We should try to work bipartisanly. I completely agree. But in this scenario, in this state, when the Assembly is controlled by one party, the Senate is now controlled by one party, and Congress is controlled by one party, what's the holdup? Where's the stopgap? Because I remember when, the state Republicans would blame the Assembly Democrats, and the Assembly Democrats would blame the Republican Senate. Well, we don't have that problem now. It's one party. So what's the holdup? Why does it take 10 years to get a road paved that needs to be paved? Why does it take 14 phone calls from 15 different local elected people to ask for potholes to be filled?
And they already know about it.
And they already know about it, because some of the DOT guys actually live in town. They actually live here. So they probably hit the holes going, geez, I wonder when they're gonna let us come down and fill these holes up. So I completely and utterly disagree with that statement. Not saying that those elected officials are bad people, not saying that they're not. I hope Mr. Skoufis gets better if he was sick, or if he's not better already, whatever. I hope him and his family get better. But I'm kind of getting sick and tired, because we can't get held to that. Pick a Facebook day, any Facebook day. You can't stub your toe in this town without 5 or 6 people making an idiotic comment. Please. So if I can't get away with doing nothing, or some people on this board doing nothing wrong, then I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. If you're in power, that party's in power, there shouldn't be any hang-ups. I'm sorry. If it sounds political, I apologize, but that's right. The potholes should be fixed tomorrow. Tomorrow. Not 2025, because whatever, I bet that day's never going to come, because the state's $12 billion in the hole, and every day it gets worse. So, we have to figure out how to count every dollar. Just very aggravating, so I apologize.
Thank you.
I'm through.
So, Mr. Mayor, just a couple quick things. First of all, I'd like to thank you and every trustee on the board for everything that you do behind the scenes, every one of us, that nobody sees out there. And we don't ask for a pat on the back or anything. We do it because we love this village. And, we're a team that does that. So with that being said, I love the way you open the meeting, every meeting, recognizing icons in this community that have left us but have so much knowledge, and if you have the opportunity to speak with them before they take that next journey, it's always a joy to sit down with them. I'd like to thank, when you thank the military, they're out there protecting us, and then the first responders. They're on the scene to give us aid to make sure that we're going to get better. With that being said, the national, and you talked about a quick prayer for the people. National Day of Prayer is May 7th. Doesn't matter what denomination you are. We're in this COVID together. Ask whoever your person is on that day. I think there'll be a lot of good mojo out there on that day. So that's on May 7th. I did have a few people contact me, some comments that I made at the last meeting. They were so happy to hear that some of the job opportunities that were out there at the state level, they weren't aware of. They put applications in. I can only hope that they're the ones that get picked probably out of the 40,000 that actually applied. But it's good to hear that people like that information. There's just so much going on out there, especially with the kids at home. So this is another great place to go, and it's the New York Conservationist for Kids. It's a great magazine. They have so much stuff for the kids to do. You're looking for the young kids to do something during the day. You go onto their website. They're talking about frogs, salamanders, and things like that. I know our attorney had an encounter with a few frogs on her property, but they are out there, and it is their season. So, another great place to go. Also, you talked about the river, Mr. Mayor, briefly, how we live in such a beautiful place here. Cornell University also has a website for education for kids and teachers. They are talking this month about turtles, salamanders, and fish identification in the Hudson River. A great website. They got small little videos on there. There's games for the kids to play. Again, that's at the Cornell Co-op. Because we all know every parent out there is, I'm not going to say struggling, but always looking for something new for the kids to do. So these are great places for parents to go to. And we all know that we're living in that age of modern technology. These are right there on the computer for the kids to just log into and find something to do. You talked a little bit about social distancing at the park, Trustee Livesey. So I do have a poster here about social distancing and hiking. This weekend, the Storm King Mountain was overwhelmed with people. So I know Trustee DeSalvo put up our fishing posters. I've seen some of them got blown down. I have some more that we're going to get put up out there. And again, it's about social distancing, but being able to get outside and utilize the parks, just not the equipment at this point in time, which came right down from the governor's office. But he does want us to get out there and do things. And last but not least, again, Trustee Livesey, you touched on this too. You must have been checking my notes out.
I checked it all
But,
out.
yeah, but you talked about the water and the leaks. So I'm not sure if you were aware, but this is the Division of Water Week. It's from May 4th to the 8th. It's been going on for 35 years in New York State. Has a lot to do with how to keep water clean. And we have so much water from the Great Lakes that filters down into, that we utilize here in New York. So some great things on their website. Again, they talk about how to wash your car, what to do with motor oil. We all know these things. But you know what? They are kid-friendly, and a kid might not know that yet. So if they go to that website, Celebrate Water Week, and there's another one out there, the American Waterwork Association, they have great games and teaching methods for the kids. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much.
Anyone have anything? Yes.
We're going to executive, right?
We are. We're going to ask for a motion right now.
Motion.
Motion to the executive session by Merv and seconded by Trustee Howard. Personnel, please.
And contracts.
And, oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. And contracts. Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you, Sean.